Dear Father, please help us. First of all, please help me preach to you through you, and please help people learn about you in this episode. I pray in Jesus' name. I pray, Amen. So we're actually going to start with 1 Kings chapter 16 verses 34. And it says, In his days did Beth Eli to build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof in Abiram his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son Segub, according to the word of the Lord, which is spake by Joshua the son of Nun. That's in the 1 Kings chapter 16 verses 34. So a lot of people have left Christianity just because they say or think that Jesus is taking a long time. So this is really weird because if you read the Bible, if you've read the Bible, if you have asked yourself that question, you've actually never seen that it actually states a specific date when Jesus is coming. So it's actually pretty weird that people are like, he's taking a long time. Only God knows the date, we don't know the date. And so if we don't know the date, then how do we know that he's taking a long time? What if he's actually taking a short time and he's minimizing the date? We actually don't know. So it's pretty stupid how people talk like that. They should kind of use logic because it basically is logic. We actually can't say that he's taking a long time. We can't say he's taking a long time because, as I told you, he might be taking a small time. So 600 years ago, Joshua had prophesied that whoever rebuilt Jericho would be cursed. That's found in Joshua chapter 6, verses 26. 600 years is a big period. That's the period between Thiel the Iflatite and Joshua. So when Joshua prophesied, 700 years passed by. 600 years passed by. And so meaning that everybody who had heard about that prophecy had died, obviously. So let's assume that he knew, that the Israelites didn't pass it on. They didn't pass it on. And that nobody knew about the prophecy now. That explains what happened on the verse in 1 Kings chapter 16 verses 34, which is that his firstborn son died. And then his only son that was left, his only youngest son died. So basically he lost what parents back then they wanted. Like for example, back then the firstborn son was I don't know, the best thing they had. They had the preference to a firstborn son. It was really messed up back then. And so for example, the kings, their firstborn son turned out to be the king later. So 600 years later from what happened, we can either assume that two things happened. Either he knew about the prophecy and he just wanted to be stubborn, or he didn't know. So let's take this into consideration into this, two separate stuff. So let's assume that he knew about the prophecy and that he wanted to go against the word of God. When he started to build, his older son died. Assuming that he knew the prophecy, we can say that this prophecy was at work. So even if he didn't know the prophecy, when his firstborn son died, it could have kind of alerted him, and it kind of could have, they kind of being a way of saying to him, hey, this prophecy actually existed, you should go ask and search around for it. But in there, the Bible actually doesn't say if he actually did that or if he didn't. And what happened later was his younger son died, so that could have even raised it even more. But he kept on going, bro. He kept on going. So as you probably know, parents love their children. Well, that's what they say. It is true. So losing all of his sons was horrible. We could think it's all of his sons because we don't. If there's a middle child, that middle child probably would have died. So what could have happened was that his middle child didn't die because he stopped working, but I'm pretty sure that his middle son, whatever thing, actually didn't exist. So let's keep on going. So what if the Israelites actually had forgotten about the prophecy, and they hadn't actually told people about the prophecy? So this is actually what would have happened. What would have happened was that if they actually had, taken into consideration keeping up with the prophecy, he would have already known. And what if he actually did know? Then it was just that guy's fault. But if he actually didn't know, then it was upon the people who knew, which was Israel. And if you didn't know, Israel was God's chosen people. Now it's all of us, because Israel, they committed a bunch of things that we could say that isn't that good. So the thing is that we can take into our time. It's that we're the chosen people. Israel used to be the chosen people. So we have to tell the good news about Jesus coming, even though a bunch of people, they say, Jesus is not coming. He's taking forever. He isn't. Okay, he never stated a specific date, so we can't even think that he's taking a long time. So now that we finished the episode, dungeon, dude, this is a dungeon.
Oh, a spawner!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah, this is awesome.
Golden apples, a name tag.
Yeah, golden
Oh,
apple.
a saddle. I got a saddle.
Oh, I found enchanted book has sharpness 4, dude. Sharpness
Oh.
4. Sharpness 4, dude. Can you believe that? It's sharpness 4.